Today, I want to make a video about peace, because I feel like there are a lot of misconceptions about what peace actually is. And when people think of peace, they think of like the time between wars, or the time between fights, between natural disasters and storms and things like that. They can think of it as the time between bits of chaos. And yet, peace is a lot different than that. It's not actually that. You can have a person who lives in the most peaceful town that has ever existed, and they won't actually have peace. But contrarily, you could have a person who lives in the worst disaster area ever, and they will be more peaceful than half the people who live in any major city right now. And what I mean by this is basically that peace does not come from controlling the world outside around us. It does not come from reaching out of ourselves and shaping it into a stable pattern and holding it there and making it stay that way. It's a fruitless exercise. That, like, what goes on outside of us is not ours to control. It is far, far beyond our abilities. And every time we try, we're going to screw up. And the more and more we try to control what's out there, the harder we try, the more we are actually going to not only fail to control what we are attempting to control, but we will lose control of what we actually have been given control of in the first place. Now, a person who acknowledges that what is out there is not his to control, what goes on is the will of God. It will be what it will be. The best laid plans of mice and men and all that jazz. It's like, no matter what, it is as God wills, not as we do. And then you can be in the middle of a humongous conflict, but you're not going to let it get to you, because you have reconciled yourself to this fact. You have surrendered to the will of God. And in that, you ask one simple question, always, and that is, what should I personally do right now? And then you just listen for that calm whisper that God will put into your heart, and you will know what it is that you should be doing. You will know what you should do. Anytime a disaster comes around, just ask, what should I personally do? Don't think about the wider implications of what the disaster is, or, what's going on, like, on the other side of the street and blah, 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 like what's going on with blah, blah, blah and all this stuff. That's not the point. What should you do? Ask. Literally ask God, what should I do? And God will answer you. And when you have that peace there, that is where peace is going to come from. It'll be the end of the internal conflict when you finally know, this is what I should do right now. And then you do it, and you know that you have done what you should have done. And that is when you will have peace. You will have reconciled yourself to not being able to control the world. You will have surrendered your life to God. And then you will have, basically, that is where you will be in the midst of a river, like a huge boulder that can't be moved. The rapids are flashing around all around you, but in the center, there's that rock that is not washed away by the flood. And upon this rock, that is where you will build your house. It is that rock That rock, that stone, is the peace of God. To read the Word of God, to listen to what God desires of you, and to do it. And those who do that will be as those who have built their house upon a rock. And when the flood came, it was strongly founded, and it was not washed away. This is what the peace of God truly is to realize that you have one small piece of authority that God has given you. The authority to say, what should I do? And to choose what you will do. And then, if you ask to know what you must do, you will receive an answer. God will tell you what to do. And if you do it, you will, no matter what happens, you will know that you have done God's will. And in that there is peace. You've seen so many of these movies, or you know people who would just be like in the middle of an argument, like or I should say, someone is like screaming at them, and then they're calm as a whistle. They're cool. They don't let it rile them up. They don't let it make them panic in a disaster scenario. Just like the person who is calm and collected, that is a person who built their house on a rock. That kind of peace, that kind of confidence comes from surrendering your life to God, giving your life to Christ. Anyway, let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You have a blessed day.